Thanks very much. It's great to see such a good turnout on this important occasion. It's my privilege to be here today to honor one exceptional military leader and to welcome another to his post. And perhaps most importantly, recognize the organization that binds them together. There are few entities with a more important mission than the Joint IED Defeat Organization. There are also a few organizations with such a long acronym. Now, it's a good rule of thumb, I think, in Washington that the longer the acronym, the tougher the mission. And it certainly applies in the case of JIEDDO. A little over a year ago, Lieutenant General Mike Oates assumed the directorship. I was on hand in this same room at that ceremony. And I discussed then how he faced a particularly complicated assignment. His charge was to further institutionalize JIEDDO's many successes and to do so while our campaign in Afghanistan expanded significantly. An influx of tens of thousands of additional troops in 2010 meant more men and women would encounter the very threat he was tasked with defeating. The movement of coalition forces into new dangerous terrain would give the enemy more opportunities to attack. And indeed, IEDs have remained the most lethal threat we face in Afghanistan. But under General Oates' leadership, JIEDDO has worked hard to confront that challenge. Extraordinary resources, both fiscal and human, have been committed to address the dangers improvised explosives pose to our troops, especially our investment in counter-IEDs enablers and enhanced surveillance capabilities. Now, Ash Carter is traveling, was unable to be here today, but he wanted me to recognize Mike, and he said, quote, "Mike Oates, above all, brings skill, determination, and heart to the fight. He unquestionably can be credited with saving lives." That's the legacy that General Oates leaves behind. But it's a capstone to a career that spans over 30 years, a career that in many ways began at birth. He's the son of two Army parents. His mother's first job in Washington was as the driver for the legendary Chief of Staff and Secretary of Defense, George Marshall. I'm also told that she inspired General Oates to apply to and attend West Point. As Commanding General, Multinational Division South in Iraq, General Oates saw firsthand the devastating effect of IEDs. He brought that searing experience and the expertise he gained with him to JIEDDO. By creating the first official blog of a division commander deployed in a combat zone, General Oates also pioneered using the internet as a way to connect soldiers and their families. Now he returns full-time to his own family, his wife Barbara, his three daughters Catherine, Elizabeth, and Margaret. As he and Barbara move back home to San Antonio, we want to recognize General Oates for his 3 decades of service and express our gratitude to his family for their enduring support. Congratulations, Mike. Today we also welcome Lieutenant General Michael Barbero as he takes the reins of JIEDDO. General Barbero's service and experience in the infantry makes him an ideal leader for this organization. This former commander of Fort Benning served 3 tours in Iraq. And for the past 18 months, he was the deputy commander in charge of advising and training Iraqi troops. As we know, the training mission is no easy task. It demands patience. It involves marshaling an American institution to help make an Iraqi institution better. And the mission is directly tied to the safety of troops and the security of a nation. At JIEDDO, General Barbero will need to utilize those same skills that made him successful in Iraq: patience with a complicated problem, navigating the resources of a complex bureaucracy, and staying agile in order to keep our troops safe. The asymmetric character of IEDs means this threat continually evolves, and it is one that differs greatly from what we encountered on past battlefields. What worked in combat only months ago may no longer be viable. Because of this, our military needs to continually innovate and improve our strategies. Organizations like the one General Barbero is assuming command of are doing just that. That is why its mission is so vital. JIEDDO is part of our effort to meet the changing nature of war head on. And that is why strong leaders like General Oates and General Barbero are essential to have at its helm. General Barbero, I wish you the best in your new assignment. General Oates, congratulations, and the floor is yours.
Well, good morning, everybody, and thanks very much for coming out today. Told some of my friends coming down from the Army staff that the world must have been put on hold to see so many of you here today with all that's going on. Secretary Lynn, thanks for your leadership and your support to JIEDDO this year. It's meant a great deal. When you get those positive leadership strokes from the Secretary of Defense on down, it makes everything pretty easy. And Secretary McHugh, very, very happy to see you today, sir, as a former member of Congress, supporting our division upstate, and now as a Secretary. I couldn't ask for a finer support of the Army, and certainly at JIEDDO. Thank you, sir. There are many other distinguished SES general officers and friends here. I just really, I'm known for being shorter in speeches than the invocation. And since we didn't have one today, you know this will be very quick. I really just want to tell you how tremendously proud I am of having had the opportunity to be the director of JIEDDO. A tremendous joint military force, civilian GS and contractor force, come to work every day with one purpose in life, and that's to listen attentively to those who put their entire lives at risk every day overseas and find a way to respond to them. With all the bureaucracy that exists, that's a large chore. And the second piece I'd leave you with is this fight's a partnership. When I took this podium a year ago, I made a promise that JIEDDO would be a good partner, and I have met some tremendous partners in the intelligence community, the Department of Defense, the Joint Staff, and the services. There isn't anybody in this room or in this building that isn't absolutely committed to supporting those soldiers, Marines, and airmen, sailors over there. The hard part's getting it done. But the first part starts with working together, good relationships, and finding a common way to get this done. I'm enormously grateful because you're all represented here today. What you've done to help our little organization find its way to get the material and non-material support to the people that need it most. I asked for a poster to be put outside. You probably saw it as you came in, not the class of '79 one, though I'm enormously proud of them. Somebody told me why the USMA class 76 chart wasn't up, Mike Barbero. So I said, well, after today, he can have his own damn chart up. But the poster I'm referring to is the old World War II poster out there that says, our country's at war, are you doing all you can? And that's the motto we live by in JIEDDO. It's on the back of my business card. It's a small thing, but it does remind us every day that that's who we go to work for. And I have thoroughly enjoyed working with all of you and the people you represent, and certainly the folks in JIEDDO. I've known Mike and Linda Barbero a long time, and I am enormously happy that he's the new director of JIEDDO. Talk about a guy who's got extensive combat experience, understands the building, and a passion for soldiers. I trust you, if you felt pushed by me in the past, you ain't seen nothing yet. Oh, Mike and Linda, thanks very much. To the rest of you, if you're ever west of Texas, please, there'll always be a place in a cold Shiner box for you. Thanks very much.
Secretary Lynn, Secretary McHugh, Lieutenant General and Mrs. Oates, fellow flag officers and SESs, distinguished guests and friends, thank you for joining us today. And let me add my welcome. You truly honor us with your presence. Mr. Secretary, thank you for your confidence and the opportunity to lead this critically important and superb organization of dedicated and talented professionals. I'm honored to direct the counter-ID effort, for I firmly believe there is no greater mission than protecting our warriors as they go into harm's way. And I assure you, following Mike Oates' priorities and leadership, that JIEDDO will continue to focus on and meet the needs of the warfighter, strive to be ever more transparent with our great partners, and continue to be vigilant stewards of the public trust. Up front, I'd like to thank my good friend of over 30 years, Mike Oates, and Barbara. Mike, thanks for your hard work, commitment, and dedication as director of JIEDDO. The impact of your leadership in meeting the counter-ID needs for our deployed forces has been tremendous. Your leadership has helped save lives on the battlefield. And your legacy are those troopers who are safely reunited with their loved ones when their tour of duty is done. Well done. God bless you and Barbara and the girls, and thank you for your distinguished service to our nation as your Army career comes to an end and you return to your beloved Texas to begin the next chapter of your life. Godspeed. To the JIEDDO team, I would like to commend you for your tireless efforts to support our deployed forces. There is no greater calling than providing the capabilities that help protect our soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines as they execute their battlefield missions. And you have truly made a difference. I have been one of your customers during my time in Iraq, and I've been witness to many of the successful capabilities you have helped bring to bear in countering the IED threat, safeguarding our troops, and making them more effective. I commend your dedication to our warriors, and I'm proud to join you in this critical mission. I look forward to working with you as we continue to rapidly respond to the needs of the warfighters and their commanders. In closing, I'm excited with this new challenge and humbled by the opportunity to serve our deployed troops, those brave and selfless Americans to whom much is owed. Thank you.